Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Talks with Dee. So good to have you with me again on this new episode. Thank you for stopping by, and I truly hope that you become part of this family. All right, and then those of us that are coming back, I'm so grateful. Thank you for always being here with me on every episode. Thank you for your encouragement and thank you for your consistency. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Oh God, and God bless you. God bless you. All right, so how are you doing? You know, whenever I come your way, I don't just want to talk and leave. I really want to know what's happening with you, you know. I'm interested in your joy, in your happiness. One thing that fascinates me in life is when I see people happy. Happy in their homes, happy in their relationships. It just makes me feel good when I see couples happy, you know, relationships thriving, you know. I just feel good. I feel good. I love love, seriously, you know, so I just want you to be happy. And if you are dealing with some things that you would want us to talk about off camera, why not? Please DM me, call. Let's rub minds together and just help one another to be better, okay? So I'm open. All right then, so today I want us to discuss a topic that is very passionate to my heart. In fact, it's very passionate to my heart, I tell you the truth. And that is the beauty of friendship in marriage. Now, I know that romance is very important in every marital relationship, of course. Whenever people talk about marriage, your mind just goes to romance. I know it's important, but I believe that the heart of every good and enduring happy marriage is friendship. At the heart of every good and enduring marriage is friendship. If you see a marriage that is enjoyable, that is enviable, that is peaceful, find out the couples are friends with one another. You cannot be married to someone that you will not be free with. You cannot be married to someone that you cannot speak freely with. It's important, if we don't have it already, for us to cultivate it. And if we have it, not to take it for granted. Because you see, a time comes, just as you started together, you will end together. When we came together as couples, we didn't have kids. And so later in life too, these kids will grow up and leave the home, and you'll be left with your spouse. So if you are not friends with your spouse, how would you cope when you are all by yourselves? You have to, is it then you learn how to talk and laugh? No. You have to cultivate that friendship now. And let's say the friendship you do not cultivate now cannot grow tomorrow. So don't think, oh, we'll be friends when I have more money. No, we'll be friends when I'm retired. No, we'll be friends when I have more time for him or her. No. Because if you don't develop your friendship now, even when you have more money or when you have more time, it will not be automatic. It's like any other thing that grows. Please cultivate good friendship in your marriage. Now, your spouse is not just only your wife or your husband. Your spouse is actually still your lover and your soulmate. And if you ask me, they are the closest to you. Nobody is as close as your spouse is to you. So if you must have a friend indeed, it should be your spouse. And when you say a friend is someone that you can rely on. A friend is someone that you can trust. A friend is someone that you know that looks out for your good. A friend is someone that you are open with and open to. A friend is someone that brings out the best out of you, that makes you feel at ease, whose company you enjoy. Friendship is important. It is the relationship that exists between two people that have mutual love, respect, and understanding amongst themselves. You have to develop friendship with your spouse. Oh yes, some of us started out, my husband, my wife, Oga and Madam. I understand. But when you come together over time, you should be able to understand yourselves more and then become friends. Not too official to be say, Madam, I'm going out. Don't just be easy. Let ease come into your relationship where you are just vulnerable. You are at peace and at ease with one another. That's what I'm talking about here. The friendship you have today is the friendship that you will live with when even the children leave the house. So if you are not friends with your spouse, it's going to be a very lonely ride. And you know what? The journey is long. So you can't afford to be on a journey with someone that you are not friends with. So I encourage you, develop friendship with your spouse. Understand, you have friends. Husbands, they have friends. Wives have friends. So how do you relate with your friends? Some of us are very nice and, very happy with our friends outside. We laugh, we joke. But when we come into the house, we are all serious. And then, no. That same friendship that you enjoyed outside, I think you should enjoy it more inside. Because the Bible says that a man that must have friends must show himself friendly. So be friendly with one another. And then become relaxed with one another. Create the atmosphere of friendliness in your home so that you will enjoy this. Marriage is beautiful. Marriage is a gift from God. I'm telling you honestly. God knew that we need ourselves. He said to Adam, it's not good for a man to be alone. I will make an help meet for him. He gave Adam what he needed. A woman made out of him. Not just to be his wife, but to be his companion, to be his friend, to be his lover, to be his partner for life. So we should not limit our marriages to just making babies, sleeping and waking up, paying bills. We have to enjoy it. There is much more to marriage than just sleeping and waking up. Be friends with one another. I encourage that a lot because it takes away stress. When you talk with your friend, what do you feel? You feel relaxed, isn't it? When you're under pressure, you just want your friend to hear you out. So you call your friend and then you download whatever it is that you've been through, and the friend listens out and then gives you counsel and encourages you. You feel better. That is the same way you are supposed to constantly feel with your spouse. You should not be happier outside than you are in your home. When you are not friends with your spouse, what happens is that you look for that friendship outside the home. No. Cultivate that relationship with your spouse within the house. Nothing makes up for lack of friendship. Money does not make up for it. Comfort does not make up for it. There are people living in mansions that are unhappy. And there are people just living in face me, I face you, that are friends with one another that are so fulfilled. Friendship in marriage brings about fulfillment in the relationship that we have brokered amongst ourselves. I encourage you, please, be friends with your spouse. And if you don't know how to be friends, learn it from today. Just learn it, just learn it, so that you can be friends with your spouse and enjoy one another much more. You are not even only to be happy only when you go to the other room. You know what I'm talking about? Your fulfillment and your joy should not be restricted to the other room. When you're out of the other room, what happens in the sitting room? It's friendship that thrives in the sitting room. That is where people talk. That is where people laugh. That's where people play. So you have to be friends with your spouse. It gives you strength to face the challenges of life out there. So I want us to examine, the things that we can do, to foster this friendship in our homes. Number one is that we just have to make each other comfortable with ourselves. Just create an atmosphere where you are free with yourselves. An atmosphere where you can talk freely. An atmosphere where you can express yourself freely. An atmosphere where you are not afraid to hear your opinion concerning any issue. You have to cultivate that atmosphere where you can talk freely with your spouse, and your spouse will also talk freely with you. When you have that atmosphere, you are not afraid of each other's reactions, but you are rather encouraged to be real. That's what it means to be naked and not ashamed. So I encourage you to create that atmosphere where you can freely talk. It brings couples together. When they know they can sincerely rub minds together, listen to themselves and understand themselves, it makes for good friendship. All right. And then I also want us to, create an atmosphere where we can laugh more, where we can play, be playful, become like a child with your spouse. Don't be too serious. Don't be too mature with your spouse. You understand? Don't be too mature with your spouse to say, no, I don't want to laugh too much. I don't want to show him too much love. It gets into their head. No. Just create an atmosphere of vulnerability. You are so vulnerable with one another. You laugh, you play. Be playful. Be playful. Be playful. Life is not that hard. Oh. You'll be hearing this thing often, from me. Life is not that hard. We just make it too complex. Be playful. That you are playful with your spouse does not mean that you are losing value. No. Be playful. Create an atmosphere of laughter, joy, playfulness, so that everyone will be free and just be the best they can be. Even your children will enjoy your friendship. Your friendship does not just affect only, it affects your children. And people that come to your home, they will learn how to be friends, also with your spouses in the future, So, and I want you to also give each other space. Those are the things that we do. Sometimes it can really crash the friendship that we have. Yes, you are friends with your spouse. I agree. But you don't have to be everywhere they are. Sometimes in the house, use your discretion. Your husband wants to have his own private time. Give him his time. You too, your wife wants to have her own private time. Give her time. Don't choke each other. Don't be, where are you going? Where are you coming from? You have to tell me. You must not report everything to you. Allow him space. Allow her space. Give each other space. So you don't choke yourselves. And then learn how to do some new things together. Go out. Watch a movie. Just go out and do something new. Just go to the theater. Just relax. Go swimming sometimes. Just do something new. Some of you that have never gone on holiday before, even if you are not going out of the country, go somewhere and just for a weekend, do something different. Eat out. Just do something new. Fan the flame of your passion again for one another. Do something new. Do something new. I know God will help us. You see, God will help us. And then what you can do also to foster your friendship with your spouse is, please always look out for your spouse's interests. Find out what makes your spouse happy. Be careful to notice what makes your wife happy, what makes your husband happy. Don't take yourselves for granted. Don't be careless with your emotions. Just understand. Listen, I come to understand, even in my own, marriage, is that every time you are given the opportunity to understand your spouse, at every misunderstanding, you will understand what the person likes or what the person does not like. So the responsibility is on you to understand that this doesn't work with my spouse and this doesn't work with me. Your spouse understands what doesn't work with you, and you understand what doesn't work with them. So you make adjustments. So you don't take yourself for granted. And then if you take away that, you will discover that there will be no issue concerning that particular thing again the next time. You are growing. So take time to understand yourselves and look out for each other's interests. That's one way of fostering a good friendship. Always give listening ear to your spouse. Sometimes they come back home with a lot of burden. And if you don't give them the attention, they will not be able to unburden themselves. And if they don't unburden themselves with you, they will look for somebody outside to do that with. So you have to cultivate the attitude of giving a listening ear to your spouse. You have to be available not only physically, but emotionally, psychologically to your spouse. Let your spouse know that you are there for him or her. It's very important. Very, very important. Don't be too busy for your spouse. That's part of the ways you build friendship. You are available to your spouse is available to you. You listen to your spouse listens to you. It's beautiful. And then another thing you can do is to be kind. To be kind to your spouse. Be very kind to your spouse, that your spouse is overwhelmed by your kindness. God help us. There are a lot of things that we struggle with that we are not supposed to be struggling with in our marriages. If only we can do the right thing. The Bible says, do unto others what you wish others to do unto you. If you're kind to your spouse, who does not respond to kindness, before you know it, it will foster your relationship, your friendship more. When you're kind to the slightest details of my life, your wife is dressing up, you are careful of how her hair looks. You are putting it together. Your husband is dressing up. You're careful of the combination he's putting on. You are even reminding him, have you done this? Have you carried this? Don't forget this. It's kindness. When somebody makes you feel good like that before you leave the home, Is it not friendship? So I want to encourage us. Please, do not deceive yourselves of the fact that, oh, do we need to be friends? After all, we have kids. No, that you have kids does not guarantee that you are friends. So I've seen people that have so many children and yet they are not happy. It's the truth. I used to have a neighbor back then. She says whenever she hears the horn of her husband's car, she panics. Her heart skips. 7 children. After 7 children, she's still in that situation. The marriage crashed too, eventually. Because there was no friendship to hold the marriage. How can I be scared of you and you say you are my friend or you are my... Did I marry Ojuju? How can I be scared of you and you say, I'm not happy? If you are not happy, the relationship cannot last now. So we have to make ourselves happy. It's for our own good that we are friends with ourselves. So that is one thing that guarantees that we are not tired of this journey. You see, when people say irreconcilable differences, that is, they have lost it. They cannot even stand themselves anymore. There is no friendship. Because it's not every time you feel lovey. Sometimes you are not even expressing I love you. But the things you do, the way you treat yourselves, makes the journey sweet. So it's not when you go to the other room, most of the time, that your joy is fulfilled. Oh, no. You are first and foremost fulfilled in yourselves. The gift of one another, the friendship that you share, keeps you going. So please, I encourage us. I can't exhaust everything that I would want to say concerning this, topic of friendship in marriage, but I know you know what I'm talking about. And like I always pray to the, for the Holy Spirit to help magnify the little things I could say with the time that I have on this channel. But I know that you will understand more to know that you need friendship in your marriage to enjoy this journey. I call it marital journey. I call it marital destiny. You need friendship to make it easier. Because listen, you cannot be sure of so many friends outside, but at least be sure of one that is within the house, and that is your spouse. So God help us to cultivate friendships, amongst ourselves, and then nurture those friendships and be careful with one another to bring out the best from one another so that we can be at peace within ourselves, be comfortable with ourselves, rely on ourselves. Except you are friends with your spouse, you will not listen to their counsel. And, you need the counsel of your spouse to know what to do at some point, so you need to be friends with your spouse to be able to enjoy the things that your spouse brings to the table. The graces that are upon each other in the marriage can only be enjoyed when you are friends and you are open to receive the gift of one another. So God bless us. I pray that you will, put all these things in practice. Look into your home, look into your marriage. Are we friends? Are we too careful with ourselves? Are we afraid of ourselves? Are we free? Do we laugh? Do we play? What do we do? Then if we are not, let's start to change some things, and then things will change for the best. God bless us and God honor us. So until I come your way again, I remain your D, but you know what we do now. Make sure you share this video. Share it is important. Like it too. And then subscribe to this channel so that subsequent videos you'll be the first to know. Thank you so much for having me always, and God bless you. Until I come your way again next time, God bless you. Bye, bye, bye. Thank you so much. Bye.